We're now working with the part two here. I want to call this customization of the slideshow where we're going to work with the master here. If you have something here, you don't want it to show up. Like InDesign, you could literally just watch this. I'm going to shrink this way down. I don't want this background at this point. And I can just zoom it back up. It's off on a work surface here. It's not going to show up when you do the slideshow. I want to talk about doing backgrounds, making things custom with the fonts, adding a logo for branding. So what I want to do at this point here, I'm in the design tab. I could go into format background. I could go into a solid fill and use this color on every slide. If I say apply to all, I can go into a gradient fill. I have the screen from before. I can move things around here. I could change the color to, let's say, a soft orange. That will go, because it's based on the original solid fill here. And then I could go over here. I could add another color if I click inside here, and then I can go into blue. You can go in here. Let's keep it simple. You got the color there. Position. Make it more transparent. Fade it out. That one part of here, you can make it brighter. You can make it darker here. This is pretty ugly here. I could do a pattern fill. Don't do that. Hideous. Ugh. I'm gonna uncheck that there. If I say solid fill, and I could just make it white. Leave it that way here. Other thing too, you could do a picture here. You could put this on one slide. This is going into a texture first. Great for pine paneling. Dead fish. But if I want to go into a picture here, I can go into File. And then let's just say I want to use this one here. You got that there just on that one slide. Again, I could apply to all. I can make it lighter by making it more transparent. So let's say I kind of like that, okay? You're getting things in here where you're building things up. Next thing here, I have bulleted text here. And you could change the bullets, you can change the fonts. You go into the slide master. You view the slide master. View slide master. What it is here, this can be a little tricky the first few times. You're doing this on the first slide. This affects all the fonts here. So if I go up here, I click on it so it becomes a solid line. And if I go right click inside here, I could put a fill in here if I want to. It's going to be ugly, but you see it's showing up there going down on the left here. I'm just going to hit the undo here. I want to change the font. It has Calibri. You could download fonts if you want to. And let's say I use Airstrike. If you're going to be doing this, this is okay. But don't have too many different fonts on the slideshow. Otherwise, it looks like a ransom note. I have that. I could go into here. I could change the color. And let's say I want to go to this dark brown here. I could add the shadow to it. Gives it a nice thing here. If I go into here, I could use that same color, a contrasting color. I'm going to use a different font here. I will find something that will complement this instead of Airstream here. Shows Airstrike bold here. Some of these I have downloaded here. The one thing I will say, if you're giving this to somebody else, this could be a bit of a problem because if they don't have the fonts installed, they're going to get a standard one showing up. It'll substitute here. You don't want something that's really funky because if you're projecting, people won't be able to read it. So I'm going to go down in here, find something that is strong for projection here, and let's find something here. You could spend hours doing this, and I don't want to do something like that. But I'm going to click on there. Not good. So I'm just going to go back into here, and I will find a nicer font very quickly. Scroll down halfway here. We will find something that we will use. I'll use Rockwell. Looks a little old Western. But if I want a different color here, I got the solid line there. I could change that color. And I could do a complementing color or whatever. I'll just use this green here. I'm not out to get an Academy Award. Let's say I want to do some branding with this, with the logo from the Hudson River Society. So what I could do here, I go into the folder here with my graphics here. I have this little Hudson Valley logo here. I got that from their website, and I hope they don't mind if they see this. I drag this into here. It's a little bit big. I don't want to put it over the page number here, but if I don't need the date here, I click and drag it over to here. It's going to show up on all the slides here. And I can make it smaller. You want to make it subtle. Now if I go to the slideshow, I press the F5 key. It shows it here, here. It's not showing on some of them, okay? But you see this here. It's kind of, you kind of have to look at things as you go along. It's showing this here. It's behind there. What I could do here, you have to look at everything here. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to say bring to front. If I go into here, the slideshow again, I'd make it a little smaller, okay? But it's still behind that one there. I'd have to go to that specific slide to fix it. This is not an instantaneous thing here. I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I've got that done. If I don't want it on the title slide, I have to put it on all the other ones or change the hierarchy in here. Trying to keep this simple today for you folks. So we've got that in there. We talked about the fonts. And let's say I want to put a special background color on here. And if I go into solid fill, pattern fill here, but I'm going to click on solid fill, I'm going to go into a color, and I'm going to use something really subtle like that. That's not too subtle, like green there. And I'll pretend that I like that. I close the master view here. You got this because I used the art effects here. It didn't do it here, but I lost that. This is good, 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 good. Because I arranged things here with the graphics here. It didn't put that green on these here, okay? I'm going to go back into the slide master. I want to talk about bullets. I'm going to go into view, slide master. I'm going to find the bulleted text one, which is right here. And if I want to change the bullet here, I right click on the first line, bullets. Oops, undo, right click, bullets, and then I have that there. I want to do custom bullets here, bullets and numbering here, and then I click on, I could use a picture, customize. I could go into webdings, wingdings here. I'm just going to do a few arbitrary ones here. Halloween, I could do spider webs here, but let's say I want to use that little heart there. I say okay. I could change the color of it to, let's say, a dark brown. I do that. I can enlarge it, make it bigger, say okay. I'll right click inside here, and I'm going to just go into bullets again. I go into bullets and numbering here, and I could use the stock ones here. I'm going to go into customize. Again, I go into webdings. Maybe I'll do wingdings this time here. So now I could do something like this little symbol here. Say okay. It shows recently used here. Say okay. I want to make it that nice brown that I've been using. Click over here. Say okay. Now I'm going to close out of this. What's nice about this, it goes and shows all the bullets on each slide, the bulleted text. Not saying they're going to get an Academy Award, but we're seeing the fonts, the backgrounds, for being consistent. That is the important thing. And if you don't want this logo on the first page. As I said, a little more work in here. So we've got the second part done. What I'm going to do in the next one is talk about saving this as a theme or a template.